Sanjay Jha, appreciate the patience. Sorry coming to you this late, but you've always maintained the numbers are, even if the numbers are there, they will not be enough. Why do you say that, Mr. Jha?
Well, Preeti, first and foremost, the reason why they are not in Surat and why they were transported in the middle of the night by a chartered flight to Guwahati of all places, far away in the northeast, is simply because the idea was to limit the access or the proximity of Uddhav Thackeray and his team with the rebels. Simple. And now, why would you be worried? Why are you apprehensive? Because despite all the number of MLAs out there, they know that eventually no one there is cast in iron. People can make a decision and they can shift over maybe seconds. It's possible that even at in the floor of the House, if they are transported on the day of the voting, they might actually vote for the other side when it comes to the actual decision on the floor of the House. So it is very difficult to predict with any certitude as to which way will they go. That is the only reason why, despite claiming 37, 38, 40, you are seeing that they are not able to come to Mumbai to do a floor test. But the bigger question that I think you need to anticipate, assuming hypothetically that the 37 number is breached and therefore technically there is no anti-defection, what is the deal that Eknath Shinde is going to give to the Shiv Sena? At the moment, you have a chief minister of the Shiv Sena and Uddhav Thackeray who would have continued for the entire 5-year tenure. Do you think Devendra Fadnavis is going to be a deputy chief minister with Eknath Shinde as the chief minister? That is not happening. In which case, Eknath Shinde is basically will have to accept that the chief minister will be a BJP chief minister. He'll have vertically split the Shiv Sena, humiliated a member of the Thackeray family who are seen as a personification of the Shiv Sena, and then ended up actually taking a secondary position. Will that really gladden the hearts of the Shiv Sena workers? I'm not so sure.
Well, Mr. Rajiv, you want to come in? Mr. Unyal wanted to finish his point, and then I'll just come back to you. Yes, Rajiv, go ahead.
No, with one caveat, Mr. Jha, the fact is, please appreciate, if the BJP government is in power in Maharashtra and Eknath Shinde is deputy chief minister, the shadow of the agencies, the central agency's shadow, will no longer haunt many of the Shiv Sainiks who today have to appear. Even as we speak, Anil Parab, close aide of Uddhav Thackeray, is appearing before the ED. Number two, there's a BMC election in 3 months from now, where the BJP is determined to cut the Thackerays down to size. Look, there is a proxy war going on here between Uddhav Thackeray and Devendra Fadnavis. There's been so much of talk that, the Shiv Sena could actually go back to the BJP. What's the impediment? The impediment is, can Uddhav Thackeray and Devendra Fadnavis really work together? Is that really possible? Because it matters, but there is an individual battle also going on here. It's not just between parties. And the fact is that the BJP, being with the BJP, gives you a certain immunity. Let's be clear. Whoever has switched over has got immunity, whether it's in Karnataka.
Right. But no, Rajdeep, stay. Okay, wait. Mr. Jha, can I hold? I'll give you more. I'll give you more to answer to, because Mr. Unyal had also posed that question. Mr. Unyal, you wanted to complete what you said. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course. I apologize. I had cut you short at that time. Yeah, but you say it's all about Hindutva. But the fact that even Mr. Sanjay Jha said. But Mr. Unyal. Okay. Yeah. Finish. You finish. I'll pose my question later. Finish.
Riti, let it be very, very clear to your viewers who are looking into viewing your program in a large number. It is an ideological issue. That's why Hindutva was on the top, and that's why Shinde has not accepted the offer of Uddhav Thackeray and Sanjay Rao to become a chief minister. But that's why, because he was not interested. He was interested in ideology of Hindutva only. That is the basic question. That is the basic answer. That is the epicenter of every problem right now.
All right. Okay. Well, the viewers are actually not mine. They are Rajdeep's viewers. But he's sitting all the way on a holiday. No. But the story's caught him there. But Rajdeep, I'll bring you into this conversation, because Mr. Unyal is saying that it's all about Hindutva, where Mr. Shinde is going to be okay to sit in the chair of deputy CM. Do you think it's as simple as that?
No, there is that element. Look, this was an unnatural alliance, the Shiv Sena coming together with the NCP and Congress. There were practical realities because, as I said, they are in opposition in some parts of Maharashtra, but Hindutva is the factor. There is no doubt in my mind. I'm not trying to minimize that. The Hindutva that the Shiv Sena represents can never be fully reconciled by being part of the so-called MVA alliance, and in a way this alliance was going to break up sooner rather than later. It was a question of timing. I believe the timing has been prompted by the BMC elections. That is the real cash cow. And after the Rajya Sabha MLC victory, the rebels scented blood. But yes, Hindutva is a factor, but let's also not minimize the role of greed and immunity from the law. Or there are a dozen MLAs today
and immunity
who are
for the law. Sanjay Jha, you wanted to make a comment.
enforcement cases against them. That's the reality as well. Are they all going to now be immune?
Okay, Sanjay Jha, you wanted to make a comment. I'm sorry I came in at that time. Go ahead, sir.
No, Preeti, let me tell you, Hindutva is a very solid pretext to justify a BJP-engineered revolt, because it suits the BJP's narrative as well, right? To say that the BJP is the true custodian of Hindutva, and these people in the Shiv Sena actually value it so much that they are willing to break the party. Please do not ignore the political significance of this narrative. And the second point, Rajdeep, this is the only part where I don't completely agree with what you said. Ultimately, in 2 years, they will have to go and face the elections again. And if I know politicians who have to fight elections, they are paranoid about going back to voters who may feel disillusioned with them or who feel that they actually let their own constituency down.